So you want to use Flipgrid, but you're not sure you'll be able to figure it out. The nice thing about flipgrid.com is that it is incredibly user friendly. They really do walk you through the whole process. I think the hardest part to figure out or remember is the difference between what they call a grid and what they call a topic. And in Google Classroom, a grid would be a classroom and a topic might be an assignment. And that's the best way to remember it. So you'll go to flipgrid.com, you'll sign up, you click the using Google and your school Google account, and then it'll say, Welcome, let's make your first grid together. And they'll walk you through that process until you get to this part here. So once you're going to make your first grid or class, if you want to think of it that way, name your grid. So maybe Spanish 1 or something, or maybe Spanish 1 hour 4 if you want to break it down by period as well. It's really up to you and how you want to use it. Then you're going to click school email as the type of grid. That's going to require people who want to use your grid to have a school email account. And there's one little caveat I want to share with you about that. So then you'll scroll down and click continue. And when you do that, it will bring up this. What I wanted to show you was when you enter the school email domains, I've already created the account. It wouldn't let me record it. I always make sure I add the two, greenfield.k12.wi.us. And just in case, I do greenfieldk12.org. That way, if Flipgrid is reading their email, they'll get in. And if they're reading their Google account, which we used, right, those students will also be able to get in. And so school email, those two endings in there. Once you get into the grid, you have a lot of options. So let's just take you to my grids. You can see I have a bunch because I've experimented with different ways of using grids. Sometimes I would use a grid for the entire English 11, let's say, and sometimes I break it down to each individual period. They give you unlimited grids now, so you can kind of mix and match. For virtual, since we've been in remote, I've made one grid for virtual learning, and in it, I have different topics. So the first assignment we had was just a check-in. So I made a different topic for each period. So that way I could see who from that roster had worked in or not. I could make a new grid and call it English 10. And then each topic would be for a particular period and assignment. It's really up to you. Um, once you are creating a topic, though, you have some editing that you can choose from. So in actions, let's edit the topic. Topics are like the actual assignments they'll respond to. You give it a title, a prompt. You can even attach directions if you want. Moderation means that the video will not become public or viewable to other people in your grid unless you allow it. I always like to put a little picture image, a little tip. And then in this one, I actually attached what it is they were doing from the prompt. Active means that it's able to be seen. Launch is when it would start. And then you just got some options for video features, selfies and videos. So after they record the video, they have to take a selfie using the webcam and then upload it. You can decide if you want people to be able to see how many viewers the videos had, or if they want to be able to add these sticky note kind of cute things onto it. If you want kids to be able to edit, attach a link. If you want other students to be able to like the videos, that's one option. And if you want other students to be able to respond to these videos. So those are all in here. And then you can choose a feedback option to give a grade, which I did in this assessment. So that's nice too. So you can see that I have active ones here, right? When we go into the final, you'll see that any of the responses I have been hidden. So that means nobody else can see it. But you can also see how I've given feedback, at least in a score here. And there's actual feedback on each assessment. So once you create a topic that you want to send to the kids, how do you do that? Well, let's say I needed a student to finish their This I Believe podcast. I would simply go to share, copy, and that's the link they would need. And they would go directly to this topic, assuming that they were logged in with their school Google account. So that's about all I got for you at this time. Hope this helps.